True identity, the theme of the YCON, came out of Romans 12, 1 through 2. That says, I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of God, that you present your bodies a living sacrifice, wholly acceptable to God, which is your reasonable sacrifice or service. And do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the mercies of your mind, that you may prove what is good and acceptable and perfect will of God. So what it came out of that is, today, it seems to me like the world wants to label our children, our teenagers. So it's like the identity of teenagers today is like being assaulted. So when you read the text in chapter 12 in Romans, Paul is speaking about I beseech you, I urge you, and he's speaking to a generation that it was, if I per se could say that they were transformed into the image, not transformed but conformed into the image of the world. So what Paul is saying to the Christians is, do not be conformed, which means don't be labeled. Don't be labeled, don't be conformed to this world, but be transformed and be renewed.
I think a lot of us as pastors have been praying a lot for young people to be stirred for the will of God. When I was a teenager, I got saved when I was 19 years old, and we were captured with a vision. We wanted to be a disciple. We wanted our lives to make a difference for God. We wanted to preach. And it seems like, I feel like kind of like a common thing today, the will of God isn't priority anymore. And I think that's my prayers, is that the will of God would be priority in young people's lives. The Bible says to seek first the kingdom of God, and all these things will be added unto you. I think when we prioritize God's will over everything else, then everything else can take place at some point in our life.
When I see teenagers today, it seems to me like it's a lot of confusion of the identity. So when I came to the realization of the mind battle of the teenagers, of especially young people, who am I? What is my true identity? Because what you see today, more and more, a lot of teenagers are being conformed to the image of their friends, the world, being conformed to the label. But if you don't find your true identity, then you're gonna be conformed to the world, conformed with what your friends think about you. So the battle that we have to now deal with the teenagers and the young people today is trying to tell them who you really are in God. So day by day, you need to renew your mind and be transformed, knowing the will of God. And when you know the will of God, then you're gonna find your true identity. So because the main thing is, I wanna see a leader, because the leader is in you. And when you find your true identity with God, then you're gonna find the potential of a true leader.
All right. My name is Martin Montoya, and I pastor in Alamosa, Colorado. My wife and I have been there for 19 years. Actually, in August of 2027 will be 20 years that we've been pastoring there, so we're excited about that. I think all events like this definitely play a role in inspiring young people, all people. We go to conferences and we get inspired. We come to youth rallies, we get inspired. We have evangelists come through and preach revivals in our churches, and I think we get inspired, Seeds are deposited into our hearts, and all we can do is believe God and hope for that, like in the near future, that those seeds will not have been wasted. I think my first conference, my first youth rallies, God did something. And I remember one time hearing a pastor preach years later, and he made the comment, he said, if you're called to preach the gospel, you're in the right fellowship. And I remember just thinking back all of the impact that events had in my life.
My name is Alan Pina. I've been coming this church around maybe 5 years already. I come to YCON. I was a helper. I helped my old leader. So now he was sent out, and then I decided to take the lead. Then we start working with the youth and everything. That's the main point. I was helping in YCON. The most important thing is serve the youth, help them. The desired service was because when I get saved, I see what the assignment to service. When I get saved, I see a lot of young people like me serving, singing, using their talents and everything. So that make me want to serve. Make me want to be disciple. And when I see the opportunity and just step out, in faith and pastor, I want to serve. Use me and sermon. Preach about, the go to your pastor. Tell them you want to serve. That will make you serve, the other youths make you want to serve.
What is it like seeing your husband step into a leadership position and following you in that?
Oh, I love it. It's like I fell in love with it. So like it is something like I think it's amazing to see, honestly, because it's something that I always pray for and ask for. As in like one day for my husband, for us to get like sent out. So then seeing him taking that like leadership role, it's amazing because it's something like, wow, he can do it. Like I was like, let's see, like he can do like he's good. Like I was seeing him like putting his heart to it, seeing him work with the youth, seeing him honestly just giving it his all and being his best, and seeing how he's dedicating his life to God. Like every time, all the times that we're here, it's like helping out with you, but the worship Tuesday, Wednesday, it's like every day that we were here, and see him coming home from work, still going there, and still being able to serve God. This is amazing to see how God is able to give him that balance during with his family, with serving God, doing his work. So it's just like I'm proud of him, and they would too. And like I can't wait till what we do with the youth and how to just help them grow. Because at the end, we do this. They're the next generation. You guys are like the next generation, and to continue this ministry, there has to be youth that continue to follow.
This YCON convicts me a lot, right? Convicts me a lot because I see, the youth paying the price, serving, even the worship. We have been month every day coming, practicing. Cause before I was the worship leader from the youth, I'll start practicing with them. Saw them in the back, serving God, paying the price. Coming, I was like, I get convicted, and I said like I get convicted, and then see a lot of youth coming from far away cities, 3 hours, exciting, coming here. I see a lot of potential, It convicts me. I think this experience helped me a lot for my relationship with God and with the youth,
I didn't know how many churches that we had like in NorCal, how many youth there were. I didn't know like how much youth there was. And when we did the YCON 3 years ago, it was when I started like truly growing, but that's when we started seeing the youth that were all around NorCal, and I was like, whoa, I didn't know all these youth were like in Sacramento and Santa Rosa, and it makes you feel like, oh, you're not alone. Like you're like, okay, there's other people praising God and worshiping. It's not just old people. Like it's also young people. And that's what I'm most grateful for, that they're all able to come together to one place and be able to see everything that they're not alone when it comes to being in church and worshiping God.
You're never going to get to be young again. So use your youth to do something amazing for God. I think every adult that gives their heart to Jesus Christ wishes that they would have they would have gotten saved as a teenager. As radical as we get to live as an adult, we sometimes can only imagine what it would have been like to live radical like that as a youth. I always think to myself, man, I would have been the kid at my high school on the park bench preaching the gospel, turning my school upside down, putting flyers on every locker room, getting expelled from school for being annoying, talking about God. I wish I could have served God in my youth, and so I hope that's what the youth do, is they make themselves available to be used by God. I couldn't think of anything more important, anything more worth living for.
I call it divine appointments. Like what I expect is for God to impart through the preaching of the men of God, the pastors that we bring. And my hope and my prayer is that after the service, they will be not only fed, but also being able to bring what God was or not was, but able to impart through the preaching, and see them make choices. Like you see somebody that came in broken, bodily, emotions and things they went through, and when they came to the YCON, not only through the preaching, but seeing the peers, your friends, and you see them how they're touched by God, they can say it in their minds, if God did it with them, why not me? And somehow my prayer is they will take what we have and what we have invested in the Spirit on the YCON. If they somehow our teenagers go back to the cities and they say, you know what? If we came to this place in the east side of San Jose and we see young people on fire, we can take the kindle, the fire, and bring that fire into our city. It doesn't matter if you're a church of 5, 10, 20, 40, 50. Somehow, if you came and you got the revelation from God to say, you know what? I see and I feel the fire, and I can bring this to my church because I had an appointment with God. God dealt with me in the altar. God dealt with me in the preaching, so I can go back with this renewed fire. So my whole aim is like, God, I pray that whoever comes to the YCON will go back to the cities and bring the fire, bring what was preaching or preach to them, and bring that spirit to the church. Because if you have one teenager, because you have to understand when it comes to teenagers, it is a culture. So you have a culture of 30 people in your church. In that culture is a culture of conviction, fire, a conviction of we're gonna win the world from God. If you have new people coming in, they'll get the fire because of the culture, but the opposite happens. If you have teenagers that they're carnal, teenagers that basically don't reverend God, they don't fear God, then the culture will stay for a long time. But it's until you break the culture, then you're gonna have revival, because it's about the culture. So if anybody came here and got the fire, they go back, and I'm telling you, they can do something in the cities.